Hey YouTube family, first of all I'd like to thank all of our new subscribers and all of you guys that's commenting and stuff on our videos and all the kind nice words. You don't know what it means to us. We get up every morning just to see who's commenting on our videos that night or any new subscribers we got. It's really a blessing to our heart. We're going to go out through the home place where I was born and raised. I ain't got mama with me. I got my daughter Haley, and me and her, we're gonna go out through here. I don't know what we're gonna talk about yet. I believe this will be part 8. We might get into logging, we might just get in what I done growing up. But anyway, we're gonna head out to my old home place here. I might pause the video and cut a place or two to get, because there's a lot out here to see, ain't there? Hey, they take 8 or 9 videos to get it all. But I'm gonna make more out here too. And they've got us under a winter weather advisory tonight, and I can't get out here when it's slick. But we're going over, and we're on 776 now. We're eastern Wayne County, northeast Wayne County, and we're headed almost in McQuarrie County, and that's where I was born and raised at. These old roads here, I rode bicycles down many times, and hunted all these hills through here. My dad leased all these farms right here, these barns, and that and over there we hung them full of backer, and it's just where we come from, where I come from. But now we had a place at Cedar Hill too that you've seen on a lot of videos. That's where we lived at in the later years. But up to I was married, to the time I got married to, I guess, to your mama, we lived over here. Then when me and your mama got married, we moved to Cedar Hill. They sold the farm over here. I explained that other night when I was talking that video how it was. Haley's, that's my full real daughter, and but the boy Bubby is Angie's, and we've been married since 2013. And me and your mama was together about 15 years, something like that, 13 or 15. But anyway, right there, the hill I took a lot of deer off of, guys. A lot of them good deer I took off that hill right there. Man, that used to be my deer hunting spot. That old man there, he farmed with my dad. We built all them fields and hay. Ain't so much to tell back here, guys. It ain't even funny. My grandpa had a mill right here at one time. Well, my grandpa and his brothers did. They had a sawmill set right there at one time. That's actually one of my family members there now. My mom's cousin's boy. That's the last place they had a sawmill sitting back there. They sold it to a Phillips, and I guess that's when Grandpa went out sawmill business. Now this has been years ago, but I want to show you stuff that's grown up now. And I'm only 42. I was born in '78. I remember when it was tended in corn, and I mean not corn and then tobacco and stuff. And there's some sites out here that's very, very pretty. Like, well, we're on the Little South Fork River too. That's we're right on the Little South Fork River. Really, it ain't but about 2 miles from here. When you cross it, you go over to McQuarrie County. So this is more Appalachia than them other places, really. But they're all well, it's more easter. That last video I made, we was in the far south end of the county, guys. I wasn't talking much on it because I was seeing sites that I hadn't seen before. I didn't know it was that far up in there. I ain't never been that far up in there, in that Sandy Valley Road. There's a little, I tell them about the Baptist. That's all was out here was Baptist faith. Clay Hill. Now this was a little town right here at one time. They called it Martintown. They built a park. And it's all gone now. See, that's what's killing this world. When they killed these small bees, this there was your garage, your county garage, right there where the house is sitting. That's actually a mobile home, double wide. Right behind it, they had a little park. Down here was your store. Down here was your store. There was your store. Get anything you want, food, groceries. And then the building over side it ended up being a pool hall. And it's all in my time. We'd ride bikes and stuff over here when we was kids. I know all these people, so hear about it. And see, you had your little town here, they called it Martintown. Well, it's known we got stuck. We could walk across the mountain here and get our groceries, you know, whatever you need, milk and stuff, and get your cars fixed. That old guy running that garage, he probably quit in the early 2000, maybe 2003 or 4, and still then he would change your oil if you furnished your oil and filter for $1. $2, everything he done. I mean, he was a good welder. I had to do a lot of welding on equipment. He worked on people's equipment and stuff too. And I think it's $100 change the engine, like on a Dozer or something. He'd change the motor out for $100. He really, I mean, just cheap, buddy. He didn't have no bills, never was married or nothing. This right here is pretty prehistoric here. A lot of Civil War stuff went on back in here now. And a lot of cliffs and stuff. I was telling you about the cliffs and stuff. I know these guys here too, they're Tuckers too, but they're not kin to me. I'm a half rose, and they a bunch of roses where we going today. That cliff up there. Don't nobody know me in this car. Well, they know it's mommy's old car. I can see the cliff over there. I've been all on them cliffs, guys. Played on one of these kids. And I've got aunts and uncles over here, and it's prehistoric Denny's Gap, and it was fun to get up when the snow was on. I'm telling you, back in the 80s and stuff, nobody had. My dad had an old front wheel Datsun car, front wheel drive, and it's the only thing that get it out of here. And it was in the late 80s before he got a four wheel drive, and he'd have to take everybody back here to town because they couldn't get up this mountain right here. It's steeper than what it looks. Trust me, it's steep. We'd sled off of it, ride back. I burnt the bottom of my shoes many times coming off this hill without no brakes. But there's so much back in there, and it'd take us a long time to do it. We'll probably do a lot of videos back in here this summer and stuff, because we get out and ride around back in here. And this brings back a lot of memories to me too. We'll stop by where I was born and raised at. And like I say, it's just, life's changed though. Everything's changed. I tell you, it has. This ain't changed. Well, a lot of new people have moved in here. Yeah, it has changed a lot too, because they tore down a lot of stuff, dozed down a lot of stuff. I'll show you an old church house, probably one of the oldest ones around here. And if you want to know what the old Baptist was, come to this church right here and you'll find it. I tell you, they ain't but a handful. They may not even be open anymore, but they fixed the front of it though. That church right there was founded in 1901. That building's got wood stove. It used to have wood stove, plank floors, and everything. I've been in it many a time. Yeah, that's a pretty farm right there. My dad leased it too, but it wasn't there. Now right here's the cemetery. I don't know if I've ever told about the stories of the cemetery, but our line started right here on the other side of the cemetery. Our farm did. This right here is our farm, but now we didn't have that garage there. My dad tended off this in backer. All in the field right there. Plumb over that barn. Now he didn't build that barn over there. That next guy bought it did. Over there to the edge of the woods was Backerfield, all the way down through here, like 10, 15 acres over here in Backer. 15 acres, I think, what he had here. And he had a big backer barn over there, and they tore it down and burned it. But they didn't have that garage. But right here's the old house I was born in. And I'm gonna get out here and shoot it for a minute. They ain't gonna say nothing. And we have well water, and this right here is where I was born and raised, Haley. This is where you from, Hartley. And the old man woman was like her family, like a grandma and to us, lived up on the hill, but they tore their house down. There was a barn sitting there where the white building was. Uh-oh, I dropped my other phone, guys. But yeah, they redone our house a lot since then. We left here in '98, I guess, because me and her mama got married in '99. And yeah, that's it. That's where I was born and raised, right there. Right where I told you we had cliffs around by us. There's a tornado come through here in 1974 and killed a lot of people. And there's cliffs up here too. We just can't see them. I romped up in them woods all the time, over in that holler, squirrel hunted them ridges back in there, and deer hunted these mountains. There's gobs of deers over here now, but yeah, it's the old home place right there. Well, it ain't old. My dad and mom built that house in 1970. They built that house brand new. It was a little house. It's been added on to now a lot. It was a little big, little two bedrooms upstairs and 2 bedrooms downstairs. Right here was a big backer barn ours too. But they tore the one down over in the woods. It was humongous. My brother had a trailer right there. Dwight that had the stroke, he had a trailer right there. The trees. He's the one planting them trees there. And there's one of our big backer barns. All the way on down through here we farmed, and we actually owned this place here too. My aunt and uncle got it now. That's my mom's sister lives there. It's all my cousins. It's all my family down through here. When you hear me talking about the family and the drinking and I wanted to kill hogs and stuff so good, that was him back there, but he's up in age now. Right here they cleaned all this off. I know who owns it. This hill over here's got veneer and timber on it, about 30 acres of it, but you can't buy it. And it's my grandma's people, but nobody can find out who actually owned it. And that right there, that right here wasn't even growed up. When I was Haley's age, 14, 15 year old, my dad tended backer right there, guys. And look at it now. These pines in there, it's all cross ties. He actually tended backer, you know, when I was probably I was 15. I was almost old enough to drive, and look at that. That's a big farm, about 15, 20 acres down there, that farm right there. And it's just growed up. I'd like to buy it if we could have got some. Everybody's tried to buy it, but and of course everybody's growed their pot and stuff in there now. That's all they do. You got what they call a table cliff, and it's right here. There's another house place right here. It's gone. And now we're gonna go here at my grandpa's place where we had the sawmills and stuff at. My grandpa owned this hill right here now. He logged up there for a white trailer. He had the sawmill sitting up there one time. And well, I can't see nothing though. They dozed that whole mountain off over there, but he logged over there, and it looks like I know some videos. It looks like we're just flying this car, but we're not. Up there with my great uncle's house, my grandpa's brother. He kept him in the sawmill and logwoods all the time. He had one hand cut off somehow or another. He had a public job. Hey, they've cleaned this up now. Look at that. My aunt and uncle lived there. They cleaned all her old house place up. My grandma and grandpa lived there at one time. Then they moved over here. They bought this place across the road. You say, well, okay, if y'all can see through that red barn, I'll roll that window down. Hey, if it ain't too bad cold on it. I know we're just telling about my life, but you see that red barn over there, out from that barn right in there, is where the sawmill set at. My dad had about an acre back, he leased off my grandpa, and right there was my grandpa and grandma's last house they had. You barely can't see it through the trees, but it's there anyway. And we come in out here with that road there, would go into the sawmill up there, and he saw cross ties. And well, he saw lumber too, but not much great stuff. Usually the whatever come off cross ties, but you can see their house up there. Then I had another aunt and uncle lived up there where that red building is, and their house burnt. And they owned that lot, and they finally sold it to somebody up there with a log truck. Now, I don't know who lives up there now. It's my family. That went up to my grandma and grandpa, but you really can't see it's all grown up. But, no one boys there I went to school with them. But over here's some more country. This is way out in the mountains. We ain't nobody's laying right here. A lot of people. This little fella there died here the other day with COVID. We've lost a lot of people down in here, guys. That's what I mean Haley was talking about before I shot this live video. What the people that's died this year. Angie lost her uncle, and she lost a cousin too. Her mom's first cousin or something died yesterday with COVID. So we've been blessed. Ain't nobody. My sisters had it, and a few of them's had it around, but Michelle had it. That's what I thought. Yeah, they had it, but it made them really, really sick. Up there, the big old cliff they call the Table Cliff. Now, it's world famous. They used to come from all over the world to climb that cliff. That was Tucker's lived up in there too. It's Tucker's all the way down through here, but they're not kin to me. It's a whole different set. There's about 4 different sets down through here. Some of them married or in the family. But yeah, my mom's family, I need to take out and see them someday, don't they? They never was out. They don't know nothing. They're kind of, what would you call them? They're not Down syndrome or nothing like that. They're just uneducated. They don't know nothing. They're still living in the 60s. Yeah, they're cool. They're got a lot of Indian in them and stuff. Oh, there's some pretty country too, guys. I've hunted that ridge over. Now on the backside of that mountain right there where my mom was raised, we'll be over in a little bit. We have to go a long ways around, but that's Foster's down there. Foster's and Phillips and Tucker's, what they are right through here, every one of these places. And there's a big cemetery right down there too. That's Foster place. I don't name them the first names in case anybody watching the videos around here. There's no house place. Boy raised up in that house, same age as me. Now these guys here run a sawmill too. They're Phillips's. They had a sawmill. Well, my grandpa helped them too, got them started. My grandpa and them, we logged this hill here off back when I was a kid. We logged that old place. My grandpa cut this timber all the time around through here. But like I was telling you guys, he didn't cut nothing but like them little white oaks there. You know, it's all ties. That's all he cut. They've cut that again here lately. Huh. They've cut that over the summer. That was just cut. That was just cut in, well, it's been 20 years ago. They cut it again by doggies. It'd been 20 years ago. That was cut when I first started logging, so yeah, they cut it again. I guess it'd be ready. It's cut pretty hard too. It wasn't my grandpa and them, it was a different group. But he never did cut nothing but tie timber off of it. You know, there wasn't no poplar or nothing cut off of it. Just the tie white oak, tie hickory, and tie beech or whatever. And you can see it's full of white oak. They never cut it hard down here next to the road, whoever it was. And he, you know, load them off his banks, roll them up, skid poles off his banks here onto the road. This used to be gravel down through here, and roll them on the truck. We went put over 8 or 9 logs on the old truck, and they'd go in with it. It's all ties, and on Fridays he'd take a load of ties in, and he always done it older. I can't remember him back in his drinking days and stuff, but they said back when he that's where he come out with logs. They fixed a big old driveway up in there, didn't they? Yeah, they sure did log it again. The other time they logged it, they come out down the creek down there. I guess they got the bridge built back now, ain't they? Yep. It did have the bridge tore apart down here, and they had to put a new bridge in. They about to get the county about to get sued over it. But anyway, yeah, I run up and down these roads a many times and roamed around. And right there, they did have a county road made down there. That's why their company, other guys brought the logs out. They went up to our because it's the same place. I don't know why they didn't, but they fixed that, tore that road back out, didn't they? Sowed it back in grass. But they was making everybody go around here. Right here, you can see the lines marked there. Same bunch of property right here. Now, them stumps there was cut in 2000. That guy cut it through here. He was a tucker. I know him. He's still logging today. He's getting old enough to retire. He was a tucker. He logged this all out through here, which, like I said, my grandpa did. But stuff my grandpa cut, he'd want stuff about like that white oak right there. It's all tie or that up there. Not nothing big, but yeah, it'd be timber on it because them trees are growing back big enough to cut now. It just don't seem like it's been that long, but it's been 20 or 21 years since it's been cut. Like I say, my grandpa cut it too, but he didn't cut it that hard. That's why they got in there. One of the biggest chestnut oak I ever seen in my life come off the top of that ridge up there. Right here's where that tucker man loaded. He snaked with a dozer. Then he didn't have a skidder. He just used a dozer, 450K. You can see where he had a little road made around. Right here was his yard. That's all the yard he had was right here. It's gravel then. Got in mind it was gravel. There was his logging yard in 2000. He'd take off that hill and he had a track loader with forks on it. Then he had a 450K dozer with a winch. He brought a chestnut oak off the top of that ridge up there. My grandpa never would cut it back in the 50s and 60s because he said the mules couldn't pull it. And it wasn't no use cutting something that you couldn't pull it out. They couldn't have handled it at the mill, and he cut it in the year 2000. I forget how many feet that chestnut oak had in it. It was a humongous tree. But right there's some pretty trimmer too. It's coming back. When you see through the woods like that, it's coming back. But they never cut this side over here. I don't know if it may be split up now. Different landowners got it. I don't know. Are there a tree there? No. I don't believe this side up there's big enough to cut yet. It was cut. I like to say it was cut the same time that over there was cut. But out in that up ahead of that holler where my mom was born and raised, plumb in the head of that holler right there. And there's some pretty country up in there too, guys. You can go up this road right here. And I don't know how long this video will be. I know we've been talking about logging and stuff. I'm just kind of showing you where I'm from, and there'll be more videos we'll bring from down in here in the summer and fall. It's real pretty. That right there, then Grandpa hauled right here too all the time. He'd load right here under his tree, snake them off them hills over mules. So he didn't have skidders. He used mules, teams of mules. Pairs of mules, and we didn't drive them out of the woods. They come out themselves. He turned them loose and let them go. They know how to get themselves unhung if they got hung up or whatever. And now they cut this right here sometime during the last 2 or 3 years. But see, that was cut back then too. I guess they just come around through here and cut what was big enough. It might be that Tucker man again. I don't know. Like I say, he still logs. He still logged by himself, always has. Him and his brother, just a 2-man operation. Now he's got a big skidder and a dozers and everything, but back then he just had a track loader and dozer. He could put out the timber with that little 450 case, I'm telling you. You gotta have dozer in this country here to log with. I mean, if you had your option, I'd have to take a dozer over skidder, because a lot of the jobs that you just can't use a skidder on. It's either too wet or too steep, or you just gotta have a dozer. Like up through our building roads and stuff. And we'll get off that and get right through here was an Indian village that my grandma was from. My grandma on my mom's side, my grandma Rose or Alton, I was telling a story about. And my grandpa come from Alabama. This is where he come to. It's right here back in the mountains. I met I guess my great grandma. She was an Indian squaw. Then they had my grandma, and well, it'd be my great grandma was an Indian squaw. And all this here was fields. Then at the time it was an Indian village out through here. Well, they was intertwining with the whites too, you know. But the Indians didn't have no whitehead. They called a lot of them whiteheads last name. They really didn't have last names or nothing like that. And the best of this video on the view will be the last of it. I got a special place. I'm gonna pause it here in a minute and run to so it don't get too long. But anyway, it's all out through here was a little Indian village. They had a little school. And my mom was with us. She could tell you more about it than I can, because I ain't old enough. It was, and they've moved back in here. People has, and I don't know how they got that trailer up there. But anyway, right here going down this road, that's where my grandpa Alton and all of them was from. That big bottom down there, but they're growed up now. They tended corn. You know, they lived off the land. They lived off the land. That's where man come from. The Alton come from Alabama. The tied them in. He wasn't Alton, he was a Alton, and changed his name to Alton. That's where that last name come in from. And married that Indian squaw, and he'd be my great grandpa. And I don't know what he was, if he had any Indian in him or what, we don't know. But this was all Indians lived out there, and it was my grandma's family. And they just played games and lived off the land, hunting and stuff. You know, it's just, I've got a lot of family buried here in this cemetery, and a lot of old graves and stuff. If anybody's into old graves and stuff, let me know. We can go around and look at some sometime. There's some out here old. But then there's some old ones too. My aunt's buried down. My mom's sister's buried down. My mom's got a lot of family. That's their cemetery right there was. And across this holler over here on the other side, they've done some work here, hey. Ain't done. This road's all the time falling in on them out through here. A lot of, used to ginseng up in there a lot. There's a lot of sang off that mountain. This right here is where a tornado hit in '74, and well, it hit back there too. And my mom's cousin, them had a house right over there, house place, and it blew them away. And they had an 8-month-old baby in the fireplace. That's the only thing that saved it.
Was that
That's the Rob boys.
That you talking about?
Yeah, they told him in the fireplace, and it blew the house away on top of them. And that broke their legs and beat them up pretty bad. Didn't kill nobody, but they threw that baby in the fireplace. It wasn't no fire, you know. But it saved his life. He's still living. He's born in '74, because that's when the tornado cut through. Yeah, they've cut some timber down there too. But all that there right there was all Grandpa Alton owned all this stuff here. My Grandpa Alton did. And like I say, his mom was a full. How did I say that? I'm getting confused myself now. My grandma was almost full Indian. And my grandpa's place. I'm saying it wrong. I'm saying my grandpa's place. It's my great and great grandpa. My grandma's people, all the way around through there. And this is what they call Lower Turkey Creek. And up where we started the video at, we lived up where I lived at was Upper Turkey Creek. Now right here, this goes down to the Big South Fork, where it comes into the Little South Fork. There's so much back in here, guys. It takes us what? It take 10 or 15 videos, wouldn't it, Haley? Yeah. And we still wouldn't get it all. And that goes, this Lower Turkey Creek right here, you can see it on the sign here. Now this road right here, that goes to where the Big South Fork and the Little South Fork begins. You can see it there on that sign, Lower Turkey Creek. Yep.
No, you're on that Turkey?
No, I can't do that to you. And it's Upper Turkey Creek where I was born and raised. Boy, right here is a steep mountain too. I'm telling you what, we used to ride bicycles and stuff around through here, make a circle and come back off. But I'm gonna pause you till we get on top of this mountain up here, because there's gonna be some pretty views. I don't want to make the video too long, so I'm gonna pause you guys till we get up there on top of the mountain. See you in a minute. Well, I'm not paused them yet. If I can. Okay, guys, it blew this church house away right here. That tornado did, and left nothing but the Bible. They said the only thing was left was the Bible laying on the pulpit. That's Lower Turkey Creek Baptist Church. It blew it away, so they rebuilt it. My cousins got in a shootout right here with the sheriff back in the '80s, or my mom's cousin did. I didn't want to say.
On the video when
yeah, my mom's family was pretty rough.
that one person, like, they threw someone in the well.
Oh yeah. That murder told that
Yeah.
girl in the well, but yeah.
It's
It's
pretty
missing.
pretty up there.
It is pretty up there. That's where my dad all in cornfields at. We about 25 minutes in. I'll probably too. We get on top of the ridge up here. You guys really ain't missing nothing. We ain't paused it, what, 30 seconds? That's my great uncle's house. He had a pretty good sawmill. Now it's all my cousins, my mom's cousins. These are all kin to my mom. First cousin on her dad's side. Now he had a big sawmill sitting there where the garage is, and he run it plumb on up into probably 2010, or his kids did, his boys did, but my grandpa's brother. Well, you can see part of the shed down there still standing there. Yeah, there's part of the mill still standing down there. They built that old plank house there. I don't know what they built that for, but anyway. Tree house. Well, they strip mined this too out here. We'll drive on up to the strip mine. I'll pause it for just a second. Keep the video time down a little bit what I'm trying to do, guys. Alrighty, guys. If you rode along with us this far, they've got some nice houses and farms back in here. This all strip mine pits here. And why they come out here and built that big chicken house, I'll never know. But this all strip mine right here. It's been mined out back in the early 80s. My dad hauled coal out here too. He hauled a lot of coal. Why they built that big chicken house? Anybody can get a car around this road, let alone semis. Tight place to get in now, but it's a big place right here. It's a pretty view right here. Hold on a minute, guys. We're gonna go up here to this cemetery and really get a view, get out of the car and shit. I think this is one of the highest places in the county. You was talking about going on around this road, where the boy took his wife and put her in the well. Here a few years ago, a boy killed his wife, took her around and put her in the well, didn't he? Yeah. Then he went and turned himself in. It was a bad deal. He choked her to death. I don't think he really meant to kill her, but he did anyway. He's in the pen now, but he wasn't a local, wasn't nobody local. Somebody moved in here, and she had her boyfriend. He called him. See, that's all Tuckers. All Tuckers. But now some of them was a little kin to us. My dad drove back around here all the time. He drove back right here for it was and corn, all Tuckers. Look at that, every one of them Tuckers. I guess it's a Tucker cemetery. They're all Tuckers, but they're no kin to me. I don't even think I got any kin folks buried in there. It's about every one of them's Tuckers. I heard them. I don't know who that is. Norick. I don't know where'd that come from. Morrows. Yeah, there's a lot of Morrows. Phillips is out here. But it's a Tucker place right here. The old farm place is. My dad used to tend his backer and stuff. Denny's, yeah, there's a lot of Denny's out in here too. That's called, well, Denny's Gap. Naturally, it's called Denny's Gap. They build a lot of Denny's out in here, but you just couldn't drive around this cemetery like this, but you can now. We'll probably get out here and talk for a second and end the video here. But I guess that's a Tucker cemetery. I think it is. I have to ask my mom, but yeah, it is. As you can see, it's very high up here. I can't tell what I'm videoing, what's coming on, what I get back here. You're looking over Macquarie County over that way, and they come out here, they tornado warnings. They used to come out here and spot for storms because it's so high up. You can see everywhere. Then you're looking back towards Pulaski County there. No, Pulaski County's back that way. That'd still be Macquarie County over there. I'll tell you one more story before we get off here. Back when I was a kid, young, wasn't a kid, I was old enough to drive. Me and my best friend, we hunted and stuff, and they was a big 10-pointer. That time there wasn't many deer out here in this country. There's a big 10-pointer. We was seeing out here all the time, and they wasn't, these houses wasn't here. It's coal mine pits, then strip mine pits. There wasn't nobody here. But anyway, my dad had bought an OSKS, you know what I'm talking about, them 7.62s. Them old ones, them ones that's worth money now, is like $80 at the time. We got that one night and we decided we were gonna kill that big 10-pointer. He's probably a 120-inch deer, but back then he looked like he was a 200-inch deer. I know he's a pretty big deer. We see him here in these strip mine pits. You gotta imagine what these look like then. They growed up strip mine pits. Even though where them pines is. So we come out here one night with a big spotlight, and right here at the forks of the road, before we come out, we spotlighted him several nights, but we say we gonna shoot him one night. We come out here about 1 o'clock one morning, and I was gonna do the shooting, he was gonna do the driving. That big buck was standing right there on top of that knob, about 60, 70 yards. And I missed him plain as day. I had to miss him. I shot at him. We shot at him going up that other side of that mountain. That's about 500 yards. Shot about 10 times. Emptied the gun at him anyway. Well, later on, about a week later, we decided we'd come back. And we asked more people with us then, some more boys. Whole carload of us, but we didn't have no gun. Somebody turned us in up there on the hill at the graveyard. The game warden was sitting up there waiting on us. He blocked, we went out that road there, one way in, one way out. He blocked the road on us, but it so happened we didn't have a gun. And he didn't do nothing to us. It wasn't illegal at the time to spotlight. But he did tell us about somebody shooting at deers over here. We like, we don't know who it was. We just out here spotlighting, and it was us. He had the guilty party. I think he knew he did. Look at what a chicken house they built out here in the middle of nowhere. He had the guilty party, but he couldn't. Yeah, there's a pretty shot. Now that's back over on what they call Chicken Creek. That's back towards Bronston there. In Pulaski County, Burnside. Yeah, I mean, that's that friend I was telling you about lived down at the bottom of that holler. We used to walk that holler there. I've been all in that holler there, coon hunting, deer hunting, ginsenging. We used to walk that holler. It mean him has done the spotlighting around here. He's done the driving, I've done the shooting, but oh well. It was fun. We done a lot of stuff back then. There's a lot more to this place, to the show. But guys, it's been about 30 minutes and we'll bring more part. I think this is part 8, ain't it? And I know it's been just mainly talking about where I was raised at and stuff. I'm kind of getting a little bit hoarse too. But anyway, I'd like to thank all of our new subscribers. If you ain't already, please like and subscribe to our channel. And join us, and we'll make more of these videos as long as you guys keep watching them, keep liking them, keep commenting, we'll keep making them. And we may get out here in the summertime and meet some of these old hill people back in the mountains, talk to them and video them stuff, and you see where my accent comes from real quick. But like I say, a lot of new people moved in back here, but it's kind of where part of the county I'm from. Wayne County's a big county, and it's a beautiful county. It is a big county. You get going all over it. And it's diverse too. It's all in Appalachia, but the mountains are different according to what part you're in. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. And if you ain't already, like, subscribe to our channel. I think this will be part 8. We'll bring you another part. Giving us snow tonight. We get snow, we might get a snow video. I don't know, guys. But I'm going to jump off here to the next one. May God bless you.